Hello everybody, Alyssa here, and I am going to be bringing you guys a book haul. These are books that I got at the end of June and all through July, because I know I did like half of June in like the previous book haul. So it's not too many. I think it's like 20-ish books. And if any of these are repeated from the last one, I apologize. I just couldn't remember if I put them in that video or not. And I didn't feel like going back and watching that video to see. So with that said, I have three ebooks, so we'll start with those. So the first one I got is All the Murmuring Bones by A.J. Slatter. This was on a recommendation list that Trinity from Portable Magic had put together for Gothic inspired stories. So this one is a Gothic mermaid one, and I believe it was like on sale for like 99 cents or whatever. So I was like, hey, I'm kind of interested in reading more Gothic books, and this was one that was recommended, so let me grab it. After that, I have Seven Vampires, a Judge D mystery by Lavi Tidar. I love this series. I buy each and every one of them. They're short stories that he writes for Tor.com. They're 99 cents to like $1.99, I think, depending on like which one you get, but I believe this one was 99 cents. Already read it, loved it. I love Judge D. He's a little vampire judge who goes around judging other vampires for their actions within the vampire world. And along the way, he brings his human assistant, Jonathan, who complains every step along the way. Then we have Son of Zeus by Glenn Liffey? I'm not sure how to say that last name, so I apologize. I believe it's just a retelling of Hercules, I think? I'm not sure. I'm not 100% positive on that, which is why I'm whispering it. But I picked it up because I was looking for more like Greek-inspired or just mythology-inspired stories that do not fall in the romance category, because I do enjoy retellings of mythology and everything, and Greek is one of my favorites. So I snagged the first one for that series. So those are the 3 ebooks that I picked up. So with that said, I guess we'll just jump right on into the physicals that I picked up. There is a combination of like more Gold Sparrow books. I also got more manga, which I'll probably save for the end again, like last time. So if you want to stick around and see what manga I picked up, stick around to the end. And with that said, I guess let's just jump right on into what these physicals are. So first up, we have Talondor's Guest by Charles McGarry. If you guys happen to follow Bookish Chaz, that's who this is. I did not know he had a book. I honestly forget how I even came across finding out that he had a book. And he is an amazing person. He is so sweet, and definitely one of my go-to booktubers to watch all the time. His channel is just so calming and relaxing to watch. So when I found out he had his own book, I was like, I need to get that. I do. So I bought it. I haven't gotten around to reading it yet. I do look forward to it. Since I was struggling so much last month with like really just kind of like enjoying life in general, I decided to put this off until I could like really sit down and just enjoy it. So Talondor's Guest. This next one we have, this is one of the ones where I don't remember if I told you guys I got this one already. So if I did, I apologize. But Outcasts of the Wildwood by Rachel Atwood. It's a Robin Hood retelling. It is also the second in a series that I didn't know it was the second in a series because my Barnes & Noble put it on the table for retellings that are like 20% off. And every other book on the table was the first in the series. So I assumed this was the first in the series. I assumed it was the first. It is the second. They put the second book on the table for whatever reason. So I can't even read this one yet until I read the first one. But it's a Robin Hood retelling. Apparently, I want to say that they said it's a Robin Hood retelling that has like a mixture of the Green Man in it, but also I guess Little John plays like a pretty big part in it or whatever. But I love Robin Hood. I love the tale of Robin Hood. So I've been trying to find more retellings of it that aren't just gender bending Robin Hood, because those ones I have learned are not my favorite. I like Robin Hood as a dude. So yeah, this one, second in a series. Thank you, Barnes & Noble, for not doing that right. Then we have Locklands by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is the third book in, I don't know what the series overall is called, because each book says a novel on it. It doesn't tell you it's part of a series. But I have all three now. I got it, I saw it at Barnes & Noble, and I was like, oh, that's out already. Let me grab it while I still can. So I grabbed it. I honestly really like the red. Like, I hate the color red, in all honesty. It's my least favorite color. But I have to say, I really like the shade of reds that they use for this cover. So now that I have it, though, I can finally binge the entire series because I own all three. That's what I had been wanting to do, because I have heard great things about it, and I have heard that there are elements that I will enjoy, like talking inanimate objects. I like that stuff. That's my jam. I heard that that is a part of this series. So definitely looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to finally diving in and being able to read the whole thing. Then we finally have The Hunger of the Gods by John Gwynne. This is my Goldsboro edition that I ended up having to email Goldsboro and tell them, hey, I haven't received my copy still. It was the first time that I have never received one of the copies that I have ordered from them. And they, replied back within a couple hours and were like, we are so sorry about that. We will send out a replacement ASAP. Within I think it was a week and a half, I had it. So I was very grateful for that. It's got the orangey-ish, reddish things. It is signed like it's supposed to be. It's also number 49 of 500. So I feel extra special with that. Especially considering how long it took to get it. So, and I have read this. I do love this series so much. This is actually the first John Gwynne series I've ever read, even though I do own The Faithful and the Fallen. But yes, it's finally here, and I'm very happy because I was getting very worried that it was never going to show up. Then we have, and this is another one, I can't remember if I showed you guys or not, because I don't remember if it was here the last time I did a book haul. But the third book in the First Law trilogy, The Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie. This is the Broken Binding edition. Once again, I hate this color scheme. I do not like the green with the orange. I think it clashes with the book cover. That doesn't flow, and I don't like it. I think this looks better. The black with the orangey. That looks nice. So again, I feel like I may have told you guys I got this one or not, but I also know that I didn't like the second volume's color scheme either, and I remember complaining about that one too. So if you guys had to listen to me complain about this twice, I apologize. Then another edition from Broken Binding, because I have their subscription, The Ninth Reign by Jen Williams. It's got the red, it's signed, it's numbered. It has this beautifulness going on. I have to say I do like how these ones have come out. I think the solid sprayed edges match better. They picked the right colors this time. I've never read this series, so I probably will binge it after I get the third one. But yeah, The Ninth Reign. Then I finally got my hands on the third book for The Book of Ice by Mark Lawrence, so The Girl on the Moon. I own all of this man's books and have read 2 of them so far, so yeah. Making progress on that. But yeah, finally got a hold of it. I finally just went ahead and picked it up. Yeah, it's a nice cover. I like the American versions more, which is what I have. I finally got a hold of Elric of Melabone by Michael Moorcock. I have actually been wanting to read this series for a while. It was just a matter of trying to find them, because I actually really do like the original covers. I like the art on them. It's just, they're beautiful. But then I found out they were doing these really cool special editions that come with art in them. Like, this is the art style that was like used on the old covers, and there's just something about it where I just think it's like gorgeous. But so yeah, I picked up the first one. This is the first volume. But I think there's like 3 or 4 stories in it. 4. There's 4 stories in this one. And then I also grabbed the second volume, which is called Stormbringer, which again also has the illustrations in it. I'm a sucker for books with illustrations. This one has 4 books as well. And I do know that for each cover they are hiring different cover artists for each one. That way you like get like different vibes for like each cover, which I think is really cool. But yeah, I got it. So I have to dive into those soon. Cold as Hell by Rhett C. Bruno and Jamie Castle. Book 1 in the Black Badge novel. I have read this at this point in time. I was disappointed with it, which is really frustrating. If the story had focused on just Crowley going around solving mysteries of demons taking over human bodies to further the plot of demons trying to start a war with the angels, I think it would have been better. But it decided to use a colonizing story, and I didn't like the outcome of the fact that the white man who was, this is probably a spoiler and I'm sorry if you don't want to hear it, skip, but the white man who colonized the indigenous people, he gets to live. He gets to live. And it made me very angry because no. The reasoning behind it is really what like ticked me off most, but also if you can bring in demons and witches, angels, and you know, Nephilim, everything under the sun, do you have to do a storyline where you are, you know, killing off all the indigenous people again? Like, do you have to do that? Like, it frustrated me. It frustrated me so much because they could have been like brought into the story in a different way. And while yes, like there are the skinwalkers in here and they are treated better, it still just irritated me that it relied on a colonization story, because we can include indigenous people in stories in better ways. So at this point, I don't know if I'm going to be picking up the next one in the series. There's also this really weird love story like going on between Crowley and this girl he saved when she was 6 years old. Don't like it, not digging it. Again, like and the angel, pointless. What was her reasoning for being in this story? What was her reasoning? Nothing at all, besides to yell at Crowley and give him no help, but then be like, you need to do what we say. Don't understand that. You know, I don't know what the White Throne is about. It's all mysterious, but it's one of those things where it's so mysterious that it just feels like the authors just didn't know how to talk about it. They didn't know how to tell you what it was supposed to be. So just a lot of issues that I had with it. It had potential because the beginning, I was super glued to it. I was super into it because Crowley's just going around like taking out monsters and everything. There's a whole scene where he takes out a Nephilim and it's wild as all. But then as it progressed, it just got worse and worse and worse, and I was just like, but I will say the cover art, amazing, and also look at that, that's freaking nice. So yeah, a little irritated because this was one that I just like picked up randomly at the bookstore, like I seen at Barnes & Noble, and I was just like, ooh, I like that cover, I want to know more. And it did not go well, as you can see. So sorry for that small little rant review. Then I got the Book of Merlin, the true last chapter of The Once and Future King by T.H. White. Again, I don't remember if I showed you guys this one, but yeah, I got that one in. Very excited about that because I love King Arthur. Then I was able to find A Gift of Dragons by Anne McCaffrey. It even says illustrated stories on it. When I bought this, I did not know there was illustrations in it because I just read A Gift of Dragons. I need that one for my Pern series. Because I'm missing now at this point, I think just one book. And so when I got home and I looked through it, I was like, there's pictures. Like, look at the border. But like, there's art as well. Like, where is... See? Like, there's art, but it says it's the illustrated stories. But they're short stories. It's four short stories. Yeah, there's 4 short stories in here that take place within the world of Pern. So, and it's like pocket size. It's like a little pocket hardback, like, for comparison. And I love that. So very happy to have found this one, and it's in great condition. Like, the condition is so good. Because I found it used, obviously. And continuing on with the books from the Pern series, because I also got 2 other ones. These ones are more of companion novels. So we have the Dragon Lover's Guide to Pern. This breaks down like thread, the dragons, the hatching, the weirs, the holds, all of that stuff. Like, it breaks it down and explains it like in detail how everything works within the world of Pern, because sometimes it be confusing, okay? So sometimes we need a guidebook to explain it more. There's also illustrations in it, like, of the dragons and whatnot, and like the characters. So that's nice. And then I also picked up The People of Pern. I picked up both these books for $1, by the way, just so you guys know. And they're honestly in really good condition. But The People of Pern, this one just breaks down who some of like the big main characters are in Pern. So like, where is, not you, Toric, because like they have like Lessa in here. But look, they have Mentally. They have my girl. They have my girl. There's my girl Mentally. Like, and all of her little dragons. Her little fire lizards. Yeah, it breaks down who everyone is. There are a few spoilers in here because I accidentally read Kylara's page like prior to reading Kylara's book, and so I was reading Dragon Quest, and I was slightly spoiled and I was a little annoyed, but that was my own fault. Oh my god, there they are. So like, there's Flar. They made him handsome, like how he's described in the book. But then there's Lessa. Like, she's so pretty. She's pretty, and she also looks like she'll rip your head off. You know, that's the fun part. But yeah, so like it's just a cute little book that breaks down who some of the characters are and like their achievements and everything. So that was just a fun little companion book to have. This is a Goldsboro book. It's a monthly one, which June. This was June's monthly book, Ordinary Monsters. I actually really like these. This boy is chunky. Okay, he's a chunkster. They didn't do anything underneath the thing. They don't always, but it's big. It's a big boy. It's a chunker. I don't know anything about this, to be quite honest. I know it's a standalone. I do know that much. I do know it's a standalone. So I do look forward to being able to just read just the one, because we need more standalones in fantasy, you guys. We really do. We're getting a little crazy with all of these series. So, and then this one, I believe, was July's monthly book for the GSFF, The Final Strife by Sarah L. Arifi. I hope I said that right. They went all out on this because I've seen the standard cover, and honestly, it was not something that caught my eye. I didn't care for the art style. But now that I have it and I have this, like, I'm like, oh, this is pretty. Like, it's got a slip case. Okay. So like, there's the design. Like, they went all out on this book for a monthly book. And then here's the book itself. Like, while they didn't spray the edges, that's fine. It's got a slipcase, you know, like I am totally fine with that. But look at the art on the inside. Like, this woman, she's gorgeous. This woman is gorgeous. Like, I look at this and I'm just like, I need to know your whole life story, man. I need to know, I need to know everything. I have to. And they put the same one on the end there, you know, like, look at her. She's so gorgeous. She's so gorgeous, and I need to know her life story. So now I'm definitely like so more interested in this, but for it being a monthly book, like, they went all out, minus the sprayed edges, obviously, but I mean, a slipcase, like, this is gorgeous. I was not expecting any of my monthly books to show up that fancy. And then the last book that I got is the Book of Atrix Wolf by Patricia A. McKillop. Do you guys see this art? Like, it's one of those ones where it's a full picture. Can you guys see it? Look at that. I read one book by this woman. I read one book by this woman, and I said I have to own everything she's written. She just has this beautiful writing. The book I read from her was The Forgotten Beasts of Eld. It's a beautiful story. There's a line in it that has just stuck with me forever. It's one of my favorite lines from a book. But I seen this at Half Price Books for like $5. It's in freaking amazing condition, and I was like, I can't leave without that. So I got it. Haven't read it yet. I'm super excited to read it though, because like I said, I read one book by this woman, and I was like, I need to own your entire backlog, period. I have to. I think this is because I own The Sorceress of Signet, which I found out is part of a trilogy, and I think it's like the third one, so I have to find the first two. And then I also have Winter Rose, I believe is what it's called. So yes, looking forward to that one. So now the end of this video is going to be the manga that I picked up. And I have read each and every one of these because it's very easy to read manga. But first we have Fist of the North Star Volume 5. I believe this is one where Toki, Ken's brother, comes into play. And you get to learn about who he is. And I kind of like how he was introduced, how like, it's one of those things where like, they make you think one thing about him and then you find out it's something else. So I very, very much enjoyed that. But yeah, now the brothers are going to start coming into play with this volume. Then I picked up A Man and His Cat Volume 6. I love this series so much. Kanda-san, I want to protect this old man at all costs. He is the sweetest, most adorable man ever. This one, he helps his friend here, who's also his co-worker. He helps him with an issue at his live performance. It goes into the possibility of music producers trying to trick Kanda to get back into doing live performances, because he is a professional pianist, but he disappeared from the world after his wife passed away. It's very, when they go into that portion of the story, when it starts talking about his wife and the loss of her, ooh, the tear ducts, they open up and they go wild. It's also Fukumaru, his cat, is recovering from having been lost in the last book and trying to gain the weight back, but he's also cat sitting one of his other friend's cats in his home with Fukumaru, and you get to see how the two cats get along, because the cats are actually from the same litter. They're brother and sister, and it's cute. Like, I love the fact that you get to see storylines from Kanda's perspective, but you also get to see the storyline from Fukumaru's perspective. And it's just adorable, and it's sweet, and it's loving, and it makes me cry. Every issue has made me cry. So that is, to me, a great series. Blue Lock Volume 1. This is a sports manga about soccer. I hate sports in real life, but I will eat up sports mangas. They're one of my favorite genres. But this one is wild, it's crazy, it's weird. I'm actually so much further because I've been reading it digitally. Kodansha only just, is it Kodansha who's doing the the English, the paper ones? I'm not even so sure now. Yeah, it is. So, Kodansha has finally decided to print them physically. Basically, all of these soccer player boys, they get picked to go into Blue Lock, which is a building where they're all locked in because they want to find the best striker in all of Japan, and they make them go through these insane trials. They have no access to like the outside world. They are stuck in this building doing these wild and crazy trials to become the best striker in all of Japan. And it is weird, it is crazy. Sometimes it feels a little long-winded because, like I said, I'm so much further in the series now. Now that they're releasing it physically, I want to own it physically because I do enjoy it. But it does get a little long-winded at times. It does sometimes feel like these characters have superpowers because like of how their abilities and their focus skills are talked about. So if that's not your jam, probably not going to enjoy it. But other than that, it's definitely very different from other standard sports mangas because all of these characters are trying to beat each other and they're not trying to be a unified team, which is what most sports mangas are about, is being like a unified team and everyone being friends and everybody getting along. No, these guys are out for blood and they will do whatever they have to do to tear down their fellow characters. I do have to say the main character is my least favorite character. I'm not really digging him. I find all of his abilities and skills to be lacking compared to all the side characters. And like I said, that's with me being like, I think I'm like 130-ish plus chapters into this. But yeah, finally got a hold of the first volume. I cannot wait till more of them start coming out. And my favorite character gets his cover release. So, I'm very happy to own that. And I got Run on Your New Legs Volume 2. This is about a paraplegic. I believe that's, yes. Yeah, because he is missing a leg. He's a high school student. He's missing his leg. In the first volume, he got introduced to sports legs that allow him to do sports. The series is really good at explaining tools that are used for handicapped people in sports, especially for what he is, which is, the missing his leg. This one focused more on him actually putting forth the effort of wanting to do sports again because he used to play soccer, then he lost his leg, and then he got very depressed. So this one actually does touch on his depression of what it was like after he lost his leg, and how he kind of just like tuned everything out. We got to meet his mother in this one and see from her perspective, like, why is my son all of a sudden wanting to do sports again? Like, this is dangerous, this is scary. And her fears with him wanting to do sports while being in missing a leg, being a paraplegic. But also you get to see how he's excited to do something again. And I think that's very important because when you meet him, he's kind of like lost like all the kind of will to like really do anything. And now he's like finding something that he's passionate about again. And it is running. So yeah, another really good installment. It's also building up the rift between him and his old soccer buddy. So I hope the next volume will dive into more of that, because yeah, there's some salty bad stuff going on in between them. So I want to know more about that. And then the last one I got would be Tokyo Revengers by Ken Wakui. This is volumes 1 and 2. They're omnibus editions. This is also the Barnes & Noble edition, so it comes with a poster. I'm going to say I wish the poster came separately and not to where I have to rip it out of the manga, because my brain says that's destroying the book. Don't rip it out. But I want the poster. But anyways, this is one where I read this digitally, and I am so much further ahead. It's a delinquent story that uses time traveling. the main character, Takamichi, you meet him as an adult. He time travels back to the past so that he can try and change the outcome of the future of certain friends, because everybody starts dying, and so he goes back to the past to try and change things, and it all revolves around the delinquent gang that he was involved in, and it's just him trying to consistently change the future outcome, but every time he does something, something else changes. So it's delinquents, which is one of my absolute favorite genres of manga. I love delinquents, and time travel, and just lots of fighting, lots of action. So do know though that in this, the swastika symbol is in it, because I know in Japan the symbol is different. And for the American version, while they took it off of the cover and everything, they did leave it in the book, the manji symbol. So I don't want to show you guys the manji symbol, but basically the swastika symbol. But they do give like a breakdown to what it is, how it's a Buddhist symbol and everything like that. And it is still used in the book. So if that is something that you're not comfortable with, that is still present in the book. Because I know that there are some people in the manga community that are upset that it is still printed within the story itself. But that's, so do know that symbol is relevant in here. But it's, like I said, it gives a full breakdown of what the symbol means in Japan and why it's used. But yeah, that's what this one is, a delinquent manga. I really enjoy it. I think it's great. I'm glad it's being printed in English. I'm hoping that this will inspire them to pick up more delinquent series because I need an English printing of Crows. I need it so bad. Okay, like I do. So yeah, so that is all the books that I got between the end of June and all of July. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If there is anything in here that you have also read that you've enjoyed and loved, let me know. If you're interested in any of these, let me know about that too. And like, subscribe, all of that stuff. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.